So let me say good afternoon, good evening, wherever part of the world you are joining us from. We want to say welcome to the Marius TV. Tonight we are here with a welcome. It has been a while, though, because of some circumstances, but we bless God that we are here tonight. So we say welcome to tonight's episode of the Maris TV on nation building, society and nation building. And tonight we are here with another unique topic, which having to do with leadership begins with character. And tonight going to be a round table discussion, and we're going to be having our guests. They are going to be, or our panelists, they are going to be joining us tonight in studio as we go through this all important occasion. We want to say thank you to all of our followers out there who've been supporting our page. We say thank you for your support. Facebook, we want to say we own no copyright to the sound that is about to be played here tonight. So after a couple of, I can say we went down for I think a month and a half. So we returned with that fire, that strength, that energy. And tonight we about to pull our second song out. Our second song is going to be out tonight. So we want to say thank you for joining us. We will be listening to our second song. So wherever you are joining the Miles TV, we want to say welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are so excited to have you with us tonight. And I am your host, Bonan D. Myers, on the platform tonight. And I should be co-hosted by Alfred Timo. He's going to be joining us as soon as possible. Tonight, we also have a surprise for all of our followers tonight. We're going to see someone great joining us on this platform all the way there from China. He's going to be joining us tonight that we all can discuss the thing of leadership begins with character. And it is a very interesting topic. So, what we are with our guests to join us in song, there's our musical break. And once we get back, we're going to keep the ball rolling. So, let's take this song, Liberia, Africa, and Raz. I want to say Facebook, we own no copyright to the sound. So our senior brother just joined us, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. That's a surprise that I was talking about that I have for every one of us tonight. We are excited to have our own big brother with us, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. But let's take our commercial, and then once we get back, we're going to start this show immediately, and we're going to hear from him.
Africa, speak! Africa, tell your story! This is the voice of the people. Wallace TV. Africa is now. Africa rise. From the rising sun across the land, voices strong, together we stand. From the villages to the city lights, speaking the truth and shining the light. Young dreams rising in every heart, a brand new story about to start. Through every struggle we still believe, Africa's future we will achieve. Hear the voices calling loud and clear, a generation without fear. Hope and truth will lead the way, Africa rising day by day. Mayas TV, the voice of the people, lighting the future across every steeple. From Liberia to Africa wide, truth and vision will be our guide. Open dignity, one unite Africa today, rising stronger every day. Who tells Africa's story? Who gives the youth a voice? Who people, lighting the future across every steeple. With courage and truth, we lead the way. Africa rising day by day. ISTV. Let the nation see the power of truth and dignity. Together we stand, together we build. Africa's promise now fulfilled. ISTV. Rise, Africa. Rise. ISTV. Shine. Rise, Africa. Steve. Produced by Mayas the Boss. The voice of tomorrow. Today.
Let me say good evening to our wonderful people again. And I want to say welcome to another edition of the Miles TV. Tonight we are super excited to be here on this great platform again after a month and some week while we were running after one or two. And we also want to give thanks to God that one of our members were able to come through as the president for All Liberian Students Association in India. And I think she also here tonight. And we want to say a very big thank you to our senior brother who always make it his duty to join us on this platform. Tonight is another great topic that we're going to be talking about. Leadership begins with character. And I think our senior brother would like to speak to our people. Let's give our senior brother the chance. At least he can speak to the people. It's been a while now, and we are so excited having you, senior brother. Welcome, Mr. Leety Gibson.
Yeah, hello. Am I clear?
Yeah, yeah, we are getting you.
Oh, okay. So, good morning from my end to you, Myers. Good morning from my end to Madam Kebe. Congratulations on your victory, and I saw it on the internet, and I was so glad to to see you being victorious in the election. So, congratulations to you. Kudos, and go and serve the people well. So, Myers, thank you very much for this opportunity. It is good to be here again. It has been a while since I appeared on this platform. So I'm very happy to, to be here tonight to share our insights, on what we know when it comes to leaderships and characters, one of you. So good morning again from my end to all of the listening audience. And it's a great pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you, Myers, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, our dear brother, Mr. Leety Gibson. Should I say, Madam President, Kebe, she knows I no longer call you just like that again. Madam President Kebe Bala, welcome, and we are so excited. I don't know where you are joining us from. Are you in India? Where are you? Welcome. Do you want to speak to the people? Let's let people hear you.
Okay, good evening to everyone. Thank you, CEO, for having me. It has been a long time since I stopped appearing on this platform due to some other busy schedule. Uh, I'm Kebe SF Bala, and I will be serving as your co-host for tonight's show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kebe, for joining us, the president of the Liberian Students Association in India. I want to say thank you so much. So, yes, Mr. Leety Gibson and Kebe. Many people believe leadership starts with a title, a position, influence, or a what, right? That's how many of us we feel like, right? Whenever we talk about this leadership. However, history has said to us constantly shows that a true leadership begins long before anyone receives authority. Before anybody receives authority, long term true leadership begins. And it begins with character, the value, the principle, integrities, honesty, disciplines, and consistency. These are things that true leadership begins with. And tonight we are here to talk about these things. Mr. Lee T. Gibson and that of Kevin, there are a lot of us today. We are into leadership, but there are two different things that we lack. Yes, we have the leadership skill, but we lack the character. And today, because of that, society don't trust us after we have leave certain position. After we have served in certain places, we leave bad legacy there. And people who comes after us, sometimes you see that whenever they try to do accountability, we feel like, oh, what this person want to show. But there are some things that you have done in a particular place that you are given an opportunity to serve. There are some things you did wasn't right. So now they want to do some check and balance behind you. You feel like, oh, what this person is trying to do. But so now we talk about leadership begins with character. Mr. Lee T. Gibson, let's start with you tonight on this show, right? Let's hear from you tonight. What does a statement leadership begins with character means to you? How do you see it, and how do you dilute it as a person, as a man who, I know you are into a lot of organization, be it from the church angle, from the social side, the academic side. You are into a lot of organization, and I know there are a lot of leadership things you are served into. Tell us why it really means to you.
Okay, so thank you very much. Am I live again? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Myers, for that great question. When we talk about leadership, yeah, you are right. We talk about character, we talk about integrity, we talk about other things that comes with leaderships. So if you are in leadership, you are no longer for yourselves. You are no longer living for yourself. You are no longer doing things for yourself. So you have to exhibit that character that comes with that responsibility, that responsibility that hold that position, or that public office that you are occupying. So you have to live a life that other will see and follow, because mind you, those that you are leading, they look up to you for decision making, they look up to you for mentorship, they look up to you for so many things. So you have to have that character before representing people out there, because without those characters, you cannot fully represent those people. And you are going to set a bad precedent, because that characters that you are going to exhibit, if it is not positive or is not contributing positively to to the community or the organization which you represent, it create a problem. It send bad message out there to to people that are looking up to you for leadership. So in my mind, I believe that leadership comes with good character. If you don't have that character, then you should not venture around leadership, because it has huge responsibility. So that's it. That's my contribution, and thank you for the question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee T. Gibson, for that. Today we face this problem in society. There are a lot of people wants position. There are a lot of people wants to be seen, at the front, right? But mind you, what I've been lacking is the thing of character, the kind of integrity, accountabilities. There are a lot of us, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. You see people when they appear somewhere, you see their physical appearance, you say, yes, I think when this man served in this particular area, when this man has been given the privilege to this particular thing, I think he's going to do extremely well. But at the end of the day, Mr. Lee Gibson and then that of Kevin, it sounds so frustrating to know that people who you see appear very, very decent, right? At the end of the day, you kind of see the kind of characters they are carrying out. And you know what happens, right? In our society today, we see that thing all around. Institutions today complain, organizations today face these challenges. Only because of what, people see people. So one day I was telling someone, Mr. Liti gives before I get to Quebec, I was saying to them, we should start giving people position based on how they appear or how they speak to us. That's a mistake a lot of times we make, even in our country today. We just entrust people because the way they appear, the way they talk, and we feel like, yes, we don't do some background checks and other things to know what the value, what's the integrity this person carry. What are those things that the person carry? We don't do these things. At the end of the day, we just want to put people into power. And a lot of times we face these challenges. Let me say welcome to Miss Queen, the newest we have a Kevin, and then we'll come to Queen. Kevin, let's hear from you. What is statement leadership, uh, begins with character? What does it mean to you, or what it means to you, Kevin? Can you talk to us regarding that?
Hello,
We are hearing you.
am I
Go ahead.
audible, please?
Yeah, you are. You are.
Okay, if it comes to leadership, for the past and what I've understand, basically in our setting, especially our society, many people just consider leadership just to like occupy the position. But they're forgetting to know that being a leader, especially just having a title. So if people say that you are our leader, there are some things you need to, like your moral character is involved, your self-discipline and responsibility and the respect you show to others. One thing I tell someone as a leader, if you are unable to control your anger issue, you are not a leader. Because in your leadership, you will interact with different people because everyone reacts to issue differently. But you being a wise leader and being self-disciplined, there are way you handle those individuals, especially. But if you being a leader, very like because the moment you get angry, you take decision. At the end of the day, you regret the decision. So one thing being a leader you need to do is to work on your anger issue because if you are unable to control yourself, then how will you be able to lead the other people? Because if you be the first to get angry, and how will you? Because, like for example, mostly people follow the footstep of their leaders. Like you guys go out as a leader, something happen. In case of you trying to calm the situation down, then you are trying to like intensify the situation. And definitely your followers will follow it because they'll be like, if our leader doing it, let's just go for it. But if they're trying to intensify the situation, then you become the situation now. They will definitely say you can mostly understand like those guys in the street, they be like, so now our they can speak that their colloquial like so now our bossman and say, let's just put it down. The leader has tell us, so we should just forget about it. Let's just forget about it. So one thing being a leader is not just to serve the position, but one thing you should know that you should because if you being a leader, you need to be patient. So if you are not patient, automatically you are not a leader. And you can control your anger. You need to work on it. So I stop here so far say yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. What Kevin was talking, I remember one guy tell me like, uh, the leadership in here, and I'm here to take any nonsense from people. Excuse me for the expression. Anybody you bring it anyway, will try to do it. Will try to take it the way you want to take it. You just said something that leadership. You as a leaders, you must be an example. Whatever you do, that's why the people follow. If you try to act corrupt, everybody that behind you will act corrupt. If you think if your entire leadership is just about creating problem, everybody that behind you would definitely be creating problem, and nobody want to feel about that. The bad one or the good one we are talking about, we try to understand that. But let's join you, Queen. I know you want to speak to our people, and then you can just tell us the thing of leadership, what it means to you, Queen. What when you hear leadership, what it really means to you?
Thank you so much, Miles. Let me say good evening in a panel to this show. And let me say good evening to our guest, Mr. Lee. It's a privilege again to share platform with you and also good evening to our newly elected president, Madam Susie. I want to say good evening, Miles, Bonan. Good evening. So, when I was going through this topic, you know, it was actually interesting. At point in time, I was reading and just smiling, in as much I was reflecting to my character, the character who we are just talking about here. Yeah. So, at point in time, if you are reading something, you feel guilty on something that is not, yeah, you are not working in that. So, once we talk about leadership, we talk about leading people in a rightful way. So, like our topic says, leadership, character begin with leadership, right? Or leadership begin with characters. So, they are trying to say that the foundation of your leadership is your character. Like, let's say for instance, if you don't have a foundation but you have a solid roof, therefore the building won't stand. So with before coming into leadership, you have to first look at yourself, look at these lapses, these things that that is a barrier to you leading people. First, they start from home. Those little things that you do, your mom sends you or people send you, you take the change and put in your pocket. These are small little things that escalate tomorrow, that your leadership become a laughing stock to people. So we as a leader, we should firstly work on our character. We lead by example always. We are not a boss because we have something called boss. Like everyone always say, and we have leadership. Boss are those one that give command. Yeah, but leaders, they are influential people. So let's say for instance, what in case tomorrow these titles are not given to you, will people still respect you as a leader? That's a question that everyone have to, check in their box and think about that. If you say you are leading people today, they are calling you secretary, they are calling you president, they are calling us honors, right? So if these things are not in you tomorrow, will people still respect you? They will look at in our country for me always I talk about politics a lot because I know Marita about to just talk about that. Yeah, in
I'm
our
talking
country
about
we see
you. I'm not talking about politics.
yeah, because these are our leaders. In our country, we see senators, we see our leaders, right? So after these 6 years, if they are not opportune to go for the second time, will people still respect them in as much as they are not in power? If the chairs are not given, if the honorable names, the titles are not given anymore, will people still respect them? So as we go forward, we will elaborate on more. Thank you so much, Marius, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Queen. I want every one of us tonight to know that character is the foundation upon which trust is built. For people to trust us today in leadership, we must have that good character. Queen, like you are just saying, there are a lot of our people today, when they leave power, what are those legacies you leave behind? Like you said, will people respect you? On what basis? But I can say to us, there are still a lot of people who have a lot of good character in our society today, and we all know them, right? There are people still build these things. But a lot of us young people today now, let's question to ourselves today. We want to serve in leadership. We want to be seen at the front. But do we have that character that comes with that value, that integrity, accountability? Like you are saying, some of us, as soon as they give us little money, we are trimming. We shave it a lot. At the end of the day, we say our mind start to, play on a lot of things. Then when I think I can use it to do another things, right? And these are little things that people take account of on you, leadership. Don't feel like that. I can tell people, right, whatever position you have, do not feel like people are not watching you. They are watching you. People watch you from a distance. They don't come close to you to watch you. Even those who are around you, sometimes they will not even. There are some things that people who are around you in leadership can see, but there are people who distant. They're watching you. Every steps you made, they are doing some checks and balance on you on every steps you made. And tomorrow when you leave the power, they were about to say, "Oh yes, I think this person did this, this person did this, and this person did this." There are people watching us. But let's go to another thing that we want to talk about tonight, Mr. Lee. Let's start with you again. We go around the table again. Mr. Lee, here's a question. Can someone be called a good leader without good character? And it says why or why not? How do you make out this question? Someone be called a good leader, but their character is like, I know it. In our country, we say the government official embezzle the money. But yesterday, the men love us. Queen, I'm not going to your people then today. I'm just trying to say some things. Mr. Lee, why you make that question tonight?
Yeah, okay. So thank you again, Myers, and let me extend my greetings to Queen. Thank you for for being here, and it's a pleasure too to share this platform with you. Yeah. So Myers, the question in nature, is contradicting because you cannot take good characters out of good leadership. So if you don't have that good character, then where did we arrive to call you a good leader? So that's the question too we should be asking, because leaders, you should have all of the characteristics of being a leader. Like Queen was saying, you have to control your anger, you have to be accommodative, you have to have that, you have to lead your people. You are no longer yourself, you are no longer for yourself, you are selfless. So those characteristics, if you combine them together, and yes, you attribute it to a particular person, a leader, then we classify that person as being a good leader. But without those things, they are not a good leader. So why do we even have to talk about someone being without a good character and being a good leader? No, that is huge mistake, because as we may be aware that so many organizations, institutions, even government agencies or ministries and government nations have failed, have collapsed because of bad leaderships. And those leaders that were seated at the higher positions, they never had those good characters. That was the reason why the organization or the institution failed or collapsed, because good leadership was lacking. The last time I was reading the Liberian history, so I realized that from the from 1980, before the 1980 coup, there was Liberia was on a rightful trajectory. What I mean by, even though we have some fundamental issues, because we have ethnic or tensions, we have polarizations, you have they saying Congo and natives and what have you, all of those things were in Liberia, but Liberia was on a rightful trajectory when it comes to leadership. Other African countries, they used to look up to Liberia for leaderships, for parliamentary procedures. We even have people trooping in Liberia. They saw Liberia as as one they could look up to for leadership. That's how Liberia was. But why now we are not like that? Look at a country like Ghana today can can just look down on Liberia, other countries. Why? How did we get here? It all derived from what? Bad leadership. Because in the past, we have our leaders, our presidents, and they took bad decisions that destroyed the country, that that placed the country or image in a drainage. So because of that, today we don't have respect in Africa as we expected. Why? Because of our bad leadership. So in every organization or in every institution, if the leader or the leadership of that organization is bad, I tell you, no, that organization can be beautiful, can be big, can have all of the resources. That organization is heading to the drainage because of that bad leadership. So we cannot rule the fact out that if you don't have good character, then you are you should be called a good leader. No, good leadership comes with good character. So thank you. That's my input on the question.
Thank you, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. While you were talking, and then this thing just went to my mind, Mr. Lee. There are a lot of people today in our country, Mr. Lee, after they have been persecuted, but yet still people still hating them. That they are good leaders, Mr. Lee. There are people in our country today, after they have been found guilty of doing things that that damage the country image. But yes, Mr. Lee, you even see people wearing white clothes from the church. They are hating these people. Please, I'm not going to that political side, but that's a reality we want to split today. And we say they are
Yeah,
good leaders, Mr. Lee.
yeah. So
Eh?
that's that. Even though we cannot discuss politics, but we should discuss the reality in our society today. All of these things come as a result of lack of ignorance, education and other stuff like that. And do you know that before I used to think I used to think that, or America, didn't love Liberia, or America is not, helpful to Liberia, until when I realized that America has invested 450 million into the Liberian economy during President Doe regime, and that money was unaccounted for. That money was not adequately used to build infrastructure. And during those days, mind you, that 480 million can be equivalent to $1 billion today, because the value of the money at that time. So I asked myself, why, the amount were not adequately used in building infrastructure and other stuff like that. That money was mismanaged, until when the American government, went to ask President Doe for, like, for accountability. He said he was to pay the money back to the American government. And at that time, President Doe was the third richest man in Africa. How? You are very rich individually, but your country is poor. There is no infrastructure. So it tells me that, our biggest problem in Liberia is leadership. We have the resources, we have the minerals, we have everything it takes for a country to be well developed as compared to a country like Dubai, Qatar, and other countries around us. But because of lack of leadership, those investments have been mismanaged, and today we still have those kind of people in our society. And even in our society today, sometimes when we see our lawmakers, our political leaders, they are on a wrong trajectory, because what we benefited from them individually, we don't care about the future. We don't care about the next generations. So we try to heal those people because of our political alignment or what we are getting from them. And it is very bad. If I'm close to you, I should not allow my proximity to mislead you when you are on a wrong trajectory. I should be able to correct you. I should be able to tell you the facts, and I should be able to, to stay against the wrong decision that you made. But today, because what we can get from those people, we don't care what they do, whether it affects our country in the near future. We don't care. So we have a big problem, Myers. So it is good that we have, some of those discussions so that we can find some remedy and other stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You said it right. Lack of education. That's why made our people. We are just being fooled by little or nothing. And I stated it earlier, right? You see people with bad character, but yesterday we call them good leader in our society. They have been healed. People just celebrate them whenever things, when they are trying to look at the right thing, trying to put things in place. But you see people, they have been like, oh yeah, this person is good, like you said, this thing of personal gain. That's what have damaged our country today. What I can get for myself. We don't look at the country, and usually we say not what you Liberia can do for you, but what you as a person can do for Liberia. That's what matters. But a lot of us, we don't have that feeling is in my own way that is good to me. Maybe that person is doing everything for me and my family. I don't want to know where they took that money from, whether they have been, we're saying that probably invested the money, wherever play. I don't want to know that. But we hear these people. And because of that, like you said, Brother Lee, if we continue this path, right, our country will not go anywhere. I was telling somebody, I said, no matter the kind of infrastructure you can build in Liberia, if you don't build a mindset of Liberians in a sense of changing it, right? Like these are discussions that we need to have about this thing of leadership and character. If you don't build a mindset of Liberians to change the kind of way we think, the kind of way we do things, at the end of the day, we'll continue being on the same path. We won't get anywhere. Anybody will just look out and say anything to us because the kind of people we get, they're quick to be carried away. Yeah. So I hope that we try to look at that. Kevin, let's get to you and hear you on this question, and then we'll get to Queen. Can someone be called a good leader without good character? Why? And why not? Now, we get some people that Kevin, some people that they can be hating them, but they say they in little corruption. They are being indoctrinated into some things. And Queen knows some of these people. Please, I'm begging you, we just Kevin, go ahead. Queen knows some of them. Kevin, we are listening to you. You are muted. Oh, I think Kevin left. Okay, Queen, let's hear you. I don't know
Oh,
whether Queen, you're
Miles.
coming back. You're coming back. Let's hear you. You're coming back. You're coming back.
Firstly, I don't know any of this what you're talking about. Don't put me in situation I can't handle. Yeah. So coming to your questions, like I already stated when I was speaking, um, you can get good POP design, good door, good inspiration for your house, and then the foundation is not solid. It starts with character. Once your character is not right, your leadership definitely like Mr. Gazin says the opposite. Once your character is not right, which is the foundation of your leadership. Once people cannot believe in you, Myers, for me, I want to say once I encounter someone right and from our path cross, it gives me the chance to either believe in you, to respect you or not. I have some people that I've worked with before, even in my next life. If that janitor work, I don't want them work. Honestly speaking, it's not like I hate them, but I know very well that their leadership is very bad. We have a lot of people today, like what you are saying in our country. One of the things that made people always hire leaders, bad character, those that that have done the worst to our countries, to their various places they are working, then we say embrace them because of coming from the political side, because of party sentiment. Yeah. Many people hold loyalty to their party to the extent even if you see that leader rape to them, they will clap for the leader. The leader is right to rape. In fact, maybe a wife was not around at that time, or a husband was not around that time. Because of party sentiment, that's why they do that. It's very, very wrong. At times, I watch on the media, even if you are seeing progress in the nation, but because you are from the other side, you start to criticize, even to its politics, a lot of people, everyone can be for you, but we as a patriotic citizens of Liberia, we as a youth builder, we are the change maker that we say we want to be or we are yearning to be. We should look at people's face, Myers. If it does wrong, and say, Myers, this is what you are doing, it's not right. People that correct you, Myers, should be grateful for that thing. People that everything you do is right. Everything you do is right. It's very, very bad. That's why a leader does not blame or shape someone like you are wrong, Myers. A leader asks, how can we face this? In terms of democracy, how can we face this? Because if you are a leader, you are not leading. I don't know where that. And if your leadership cannot affect lives positively by your character, you start with your character, Myers. As soon you are HR to an office, and then you're telling people to wear, to be diplomatic whenever it comes to work. But whenever you come to work, you are in, short clothes, muscle arm. For God's sake, Myers, if you are talking to your employees, you become, for the name of saying you are a HR, they respect you at that moment. But honestly speaking, they don't believe in your work because you are not leading by example, Myers. We are as a leaders or wanting to be a leader, we should lead by example. So you can get bad character and then you say your leadership will be great. Character is the foundation of every leadership. I tell you, that. So we should have character from our home. It starts from our home, right in our home. Controlling your anger like our KPS here. You should control your anger. A lot of people don't know how to work with people. Even from their home, they have their siblings. Every little thing, it terrifies them. Imagine if you are given, most especially in India, right, for those who all are surf or surfing, you are working with people from diverse background, Myers. Country like a possible that you might not even enter. You are working with these people. You have to know them. You have to work in alignment with them. So if you're that kind of person that get anger issues, like, you want to be seen as a boss, every good thing you take the glory. That's how boss behave, but leaders don't do that. Leaders say, my team. Leaders say, we done this, we can improve this. That's leadership. So, like I said, if your character is not aligning with your leadership, it's not a good leadership, that's a bad leadership. And if your leadership cannot affect people positively, if you cannot influence people, leaders are influential people. Leaders are people that help you to grow. They don't want to be seen as if you're a local leader, Myers, real leader, right, at least by example, they don't like to be seen. Why you think somebody will back her and say, Myers, I don't like to sit at the seat? the front seat. More people do that. Why? Because they don't, some of them don't want to be seen like, yeah, there's a car owner. That's how leadership goes. But a boss will sit at the front, give comment, hey, you have to do this. In fact, work supposed to dismiss by 6, and leaders will leave by 3, expecting employees to get things done for them. Once they come to give comment, that's bad leadership, my ass. So I will stop here and hear from colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, practical experience that you just gave to us or example. So let's hear from you, Kevin. You was muted, and then Queen had to come in. Let's hear from you. What does thing mean about what is this question means to you? Uh, uh, do you think someone can be called a good leader without a good character? Why or why not? Because we see in our country today there are a lot of people that have been hating around, but yet still you understand that why they are being involved into is negativities, but yet still they heal them and they say they are good leaders. So in my own way, I think yeah, these people are good leaders. Kevin, let's hear from you. Do you think that they are also good people or they are not good?
Hmm. For that aspect, when it comes to leadership, they are not good. Because being a leader, one thing, like Queen was saying, not to like leadership is about teamwork. You working along with your people, but not like you don't show the example. Like we always say, you have to be an example to others. Okay, for example, now I'm the president from Liberia students in India. Then the folk tell me those that know me, those that don't know me, but just hear my story, the folk will tell me one thing. Then at the end of the day, I supposed to lead in a positive way and I change direction. And the moment I change direction at the end of the day, the followers too will change direction. But you'll be like there are certain people you'll be like you hear someone who said like the person who vote for will change because one thing about leadership is sacrifice. And like I tell you, you need to be patient. Be patient. You are things that there are people will come so there's sometimes something you don't even know about. Someone will just accuse you just because you have that title. This is our leader. This is our leader. Like for the short time I take ASR from the election time to this time, I experienced it. But that's the reason when I started, I told you say um you need to have you need to be patient and you need to know how to control your anger. There was a person that complained me to a friend of mine saying that since I get into power like this, and when the moment the person, that's the reason as a leader, they are you're supposed to have a feel confident that there are certain things someone tell them say this person do this, they should say no. And the person complaining, the person is very close to me. So when they complain, me say, oh Susie do this, Susie do that, the person says Susie, no. Because those that know me that have been working with them, if it comes to transparency, if it comes to teamwork, even my current executive I have, they know me for it. If someone even come in my inbox, just want to do, I'll take send a written communication because I know that I have a team and I need to, if I go to the team, I don't just going to say an oral thing. I need to submit a document as soon as they don't think. That's the reason. Even if people reach out to me, Madam President, I want to work. Ask anyone. The first thing I'll tell you, say, I need to discuss it with my team because being a leader, like the way police say, you don't have to be a boss. You just sit and you make decisions. No, you have to work alone. That's the reason you need other people. Because what make you a good leader, the relationship you build with people around you. So when the person complaining me was like, oh, she's not doing this, Susan, that's the reason. One thing in my leadership, I take record. Record is very important because there are certain people, especially when it comes to our association, you need to get record in everything. So when that day after school, the person called me, say, Susie, someone said you do this, you do that. I say, really? So I said, 1 minute, go through my phone. I just share my screen. So the moment I share my screen, I told the person, see, and that's how we added the person on the call. So I told the person, I said, just ask the person if they are so one day do this. So the moment we added the person on the call, the next the person changed the whole topic. And at that time, they say I was very rude, leader, not respectful. It could create fire, but I just kept mute on the call. When the person dropped the call, then the person was like, "You see," I said, "That's the reason." I said, "Those that know me, if it comes to my leadership, Because from the day I can tell someone, from the day on July 24th, I take that oath, and from the day I said I wanted to be president for ASI, everything concerning my personal life, I put them. Even those that connected to me can be saying that since you become president, you change. You just say the ASI beginning. Because one thing, I take it very personal to me. Because if you say you are leading people, mind you, other people outside is watching your leadership. So you being a leader, not only just leading them, but leading them in a moral way, being respectful, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. So I take it very personal to me.
Okay, so let me say thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for that, Susie. Um, Queen, Mr. Lee, another thing I wanted to bring to our attention, we're talking about can somebody be a
That's
leader,
an example. But
with having a that kind of bad character and you think that they are still a leader. And one of the things I wanted to say
definitely,
to us, are you there, Susie? Okay. One of the things I wanted to say to
yes,
us
sir.
is you being a leader, it is you are not just representing yourself, your family is on the line as well. Because whatever you do to that particular entity, oh, but after then came from their family, and history gonna live, gonna tell. And that's one of the mistakes we made today in society. We don't think about history. What is coming after us? Because tomorrow you might play your own part and be that kind of person. You are not thinking about your children. And that's how you see today there are many of our past officials who are there today. Their children have faced a lot of challenges, not just in Liberia, but in the world at large. Whenever they say, oh, that Mr. Paul Brown son here, they say, Paul Brown, what did this in our country that Paul Brown son will be able to do this for? No, I don't think it's necessary. And you saw we must commend our president. We are not into politics, but let's commend our president for what he did. Because he knew that all these things affected our country seriously, he decided to reconcile and say, I will have these various programs that every one of us can reconcile because he knew very well what have happened in the past. We will start with Liberia today because if we can strengthen our own country, we can strengthen Africa at large. And I can say to people, Mr. Lee, we have to put back our country on the map. Our flair there, but there are certain things that we're lacking, which of course have to do with good leadership, integrity. Yeah, a lot of our people today they just want a position, but they don't want to. I know that Mr. Lee, one of the things that frustrates me when people have done one thing in a leadership and then they have been taken from there, they want to be blaming other people. Have you seen that today? They want to be blaming people. They want to feel like, oh, they are so perfect in their own way. They were there, they were carrying on things very smoothly, but then people go against them and why they decide to move them from there. No, your character sometimes, everything you do live after you. The Bible says, everything we do today live after us. But we face these challenges today in our society. So I hope that everyone of us, you cannot be a good leader. You cannot lead people. If you don't have a character, say to yourself you're not going to lead people because you will definitely pollute that entire area. Yeah. And I want to say before we go to our next thing here is as a leader, you must always have that energy of positivities in your leadership. Have that thing of positivities. Don't never be thinking negative way. The negative way of being so corrupt. I'll do whatever I can do here and nobody will ask me questions. Queen, one of the questions we have here today talks about leadership and authority. There are people feel that when they have been given leadership, they feel that they get all the authority and that they can do whatever. They are not questionable to anybody. Anything they want to do, they do it. But what happens is your legacy. When you leave that particular area, what will speak after you, that's what matters. So I want to say thank you again to everybody. And let's go to our next question round table, and then we will come to take a little break, and then we'll join our co-host. She will continue from there. Mr. Lee, here's a question, right? How does integrity influence public trust? Today we talk about character, And one of the key things on character is have to do with integrity. How do you think this thing influence public trust? People say, don't play with my character. Don't play with my integrity. My integrity is on the line. I've heard Queen saying that before. Don't play with my integrity. It's on the line. Don't raise my integrity. Do you know how many times it took me to build my integrity? You just want to destroy in a trim of an art? Mr. Lee, people say these things around. So let's talk about a little bit about the public trust issue about it.
Yeah, so thank you again, Myers. When we talk about good leaderships, we also talk about, integrity. We talk about other stuff that's surrounding, leaderships. So if you want to build a public trust in your leadership capacity, there are several things that you must uphold, that you must do, and that you should not do also. So many a time we hear people saying, "Oh, I built up my character, for years," like you already stated. I cannot destroy in a twinkle of an eye. It's true. Sometimes your integrity that you protect in public offices, it build public trust. For example, if you are found in an environment, leadership environment, or organization where you have noticed that corruptions is at the highest peak, and everyone is surrounding you, everyone around you, they are very corrupt and something like that, right? So maybe in order to save your integrity, you are not coerced to work with with that group when you cannot change them. That's why you see people with integrity will resign. Today in our in our public offices, especially in Liberia, we barely see people resigning because of those things. Because in fact they are part and parcels of the of that cartel. If you cannot change the system, if you want to protect your integrity, resign from the system, resign, from that place so that your integrity can be safe. But you cannot be part of that, that environment, and tomorrow you come out and say, "Oh, I wasn't part of it," but you were there. So all of the decisions that were made, you were aware of them. So in order to save your integrity, try to dress back, try to, or resign and save your integrity. Don't be part and parcel of everything that's going on. If you cannot change them, don't allow them to change you. So if you are a leader and you want to protect your integrity, there are so many ways that we can protect our integrity when we are in leadership. So many ways. Then the example that I just gave, so many ways that we can protect our integrity. You can also protect your integrity, by not doing the wrong things. Like even if if it affects someone closer to you, no matter that proximity between you and that person, it could be your brother, your sister. If that person needs to be prosecuted, you order their prosecution legally, lawfully. You order, that's integrity right there. So if I'm friendly with you, Myers, and we are serving in the same capacity, or in an organization, and we have bylaws and and constitutional rules and other stuff like that, and I notice that you went against the rules, and I'm in the power to to alter to order your prosecutions, and you need to face the law. I should be able to do it. I should not be drastic on someone who is not close to me. And like maybe I'm not too close to Queen. I say, okay, since Queen does this, I must, she must face the law. But Maya does this, then the law now I will be quiet. That is not integrity. Save your integrity when when you are doing the right thing, at the right time and at the right place. So you are also setting that example. You are building your legacy, and that legacy will live after you. In public, public trust is going to be built because of that integrity, or characters that you exhibited. So you are going to become an integrity icon. It will be in business too. You can set up your integrity. There are some people, they don't overly charge because they believe that what they should earn holistically or honestly, that is what will put food on their table. So that's why you see, someone they are still struggling, but they might come across a huge money. They will still return it. that money that doesn't belong to them. So they will return it because well, they have that integrity. So we call it an integrity account. So you can build it, public trust. People are going to build that trust in you. Say, oh, even though the person doesn't have anything, but he or she has, that integrity, that character, that everything it takes to, to build that public trust. So Myers, there are so many things surrounding this, but just for the time's sake, I will just stop on these few that I just announced and give chance to to Queen Kede to make that input too. So thank you for the question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. You just said it right. There are a lot of us today. We rate our integrity. At the end of the day, we want to bring other people, which of course we are our own problem to that. We want to do things like we want to please other people. We want to please other people. Like you said, some of us, because of the power we have, we want to use it right to ride on other people right. And I said it earlier, and I'm saying it again. Whatever you do right now, live after you tomorrow. That particular thing, that particular negative decision you are making as a person may not affect you as an individual, but mind you, you have children. Children to come. Because many just do it, it's not going to add anything also or try anything from my life. No, you will not be the one that will be affected, but someone that is connected to you tomorrow will be affected miles from that particular thing. So let's see how you going on this particular question here. Let's talk about how does integrity influence public trust.
Thank you so much again, Mary, for the privilege. So when we look at integrity, we say in our own way of saying, we say integrity is doing the right thing even if no one is looking. Integrity is doing the right thing, Myers, even if somebody cannot praise you, Myers. Doing the right thing if you cannot be the people's favorite because of standing for the truth. That's integrity. So if we blanket integrity, we firstly have to look at responsibility. You got responsibility there where it tells if the individual have integrity or not. You know, one of the unique thing, if no one can brag about that, for me I brag about that when it comes to myself, that if a lot of people reach out to me, I want you to be part of this, I want you to join this. Once I don't have the time, trust me, I'll tell you I'm not. But once I tell you I will do it, I will be part of this, I will be part of the Mario CV, I'll ensure that I put my all into it. That's integrity because it comes with responsibility. Some people just want to be having all those status, I'm the this, I'm the that, but they are not working. I tell people in the students community here, right? If you are given a task, if you don't know how to do it, absolutely you don't have the chance, Miles. It's better you say that I don't have the chance because mind you, tomorrow all these things we are doing is of volunteer work, but people is looking at you. They are not thinking about the pay you getting, but they are looking at those integrity, those attributes that they can count on. And tomorrow we are going back home. If you are opportune, people like vacancy somewhere, Miles, because of the position I gave you before and you fail me, do you think that I'm gonna put you there? Never. In the full House of Parliament back then, a lot of people will serve on the committees, various committees, but if they are called for, confirmation hearing or other stuff what the parliament wants to know, a lot of people get excuses all the time. I'm on internship, I'm busy in class. Get a job or if you are occupied, Miles, because trust me, you might be a good leader for a busy schedule, but because your refusal of moving from that position, Miles, and stating the reason I'm busy, do you think that if tomorrow, if I'm opportune, like if I see you go for work, absolutely, I would say I can't. The reason because how I saw you leading people in there every day, you follow excuse. Like during our election, there's a person that through the election, always follow excuses, and the massive wanted to bring the person out. were in meeting that day, you know, just from that 2 times experience with that person, I said to myself, we cannot trust them, cannot trust that person because you know, all the time I'm doing this, I'm on hostel, like it was just a no. Imagine there's a voluntary work, man. If you cannot serve, if you cannot give your time, something that you are not paid for at this time is 12:28 Indian time PM, and you are up. Why? Because why you are taking a responsibility. You are agree. You are signed up for this. Like you have to be here. You are building your integrity on this. If you are, you know, many times people want to occupy positions, Myers, but they you know they don't have the schedule to work. Why you are holding that position, and Mr. You are saying for the sake of integrity, tell them I'm busy, so and so thing. Therefore, I can't fill in this position. It's okay. You know, I always tell my colleagues when we are lecturing, I say many CVs have to be vet. And that vetting process should come from those that work with, not about the skills or the paper you show. Because, you know, my people will sell all those positions they will hold, because I don't call self, they will hold all those positions. And on a CV tomorrow, you'll see it'll be bucket, like they'll even put it in suitcase because it cannot fit in their hands. And I work with this, I work with this. Absolutely. Go and ask one of their colleagues, my that I work with them. They cannot brag about them. They cannot say good thing about them. You know, it's very bad. Times it baffles me when I see people doing these things. So integrity, like I said, it comes with responsibility. Once you are given responsibility, where integrity have been tested, right? So doing the right thing, even if people cannot, you know, you cannot be the people favorite, because once you start with the integrity, we're saying it very, you know, it's very easy to say, but it's a hefty task, Miles. Imagine doing the right thing, the whole organization hating you. You know, even in high school, right? Certain teacher might want to come here, but I don't want to see that teacher because they stand for principles. But you know, those one I would say, buy pamphlet, buy one get one free. I real $2.99. Buy grades, you know, you have to do makeup grades. You know, one thing I can be grateful for India, I don't know about other countries, is about the integrity matters. I know sometimes to every rules there can be an exception, but I've never seen that exception. For me, I've never gotten experience on that. You know,
Oh
is
yeah,
known for
also.
India is known for that integrity when it comes to academics. You don't get mine in my library way. You don't get mine to go stay from teachers. Like your teacher don't for my institution that I graduated from. The teacher that even give you the exam, they don't even, the teacher that taught you in the class, they don't even know how your exam coming. Imagine you come ready for us, and the teacher asking you for your question paper, they asking you what they gave you today. To tell you that they don't have no clue. They haven't even seen that paper. And they are not even, like, you will score your grade, they will go look at your grade. That's the only privilege you get. When your grade come out, you already, and you know, sign in the portal, and they will be asking to see your grade. Or sometimes the school, you know, they send to your institution, and then they publish it in the general group. So it make you to work very hard. You know what, in UL back then, even into other institutions, you know, people grade called piracy, but for my institution, your grade does not have piracy. I'm sorry. Once I result it all, they're going to publish it. And you know, that publishment of your grade, another person can file it anywhere they won't file it. Imagine, and you know, for some of us who call ourselves leaders, they are integrity and your patient can be tested. Because your followers, honestly speaking, they does not care about you to that extent. Like in India, right, you'll be sleeping. Why is him more? Time for you to rest, time for you to stay. Somebody will call, oh, Honorable Queen, this won't happen to me. Imagine as a female, you have to risk your life like I want to go to the person door. You don't care what will happen to you. If you don't come mind you, if you not step to that person door, when they have to publish you in that group chat, you are a bad leader. But they don't think that the same school you in the same exam schedule. They're not saying because Queen is a leader, or exam schedule will be, you know, a trust. Nothing like that. They think that the same patient going red. That's the same that the same patients are going red. But people expect you. That's leadership. People expect, you know, to do everything. And at the end of the day, all these run around you do for them, right? At the end of the day, they still expect to score A plus. If you not score, I say, look at her, all the big much she can be making she fail. But I don't know when they were stealing, eh? You are taking that time to solve student problem. Imagine be up 2, 3 talking from the other meeting to the other meeting. People don't care about that Myers. That's integrity. You sign up for that. You have to all rep because of that. People can trust you. People can boast of it. Can your people in your organization, those places you are served or you are serving, can they boast about you, Myers? How can they boast about it? Is it positive or negative? Because some people, they have bad influence. They have their own crew that can boast of them. You see, Myers, we can do this, we can do that. It's very, very bad. So for the sake of time, I wanted to speak more than this. Yeah. For the sake of
Thank you.
time.
You just said it all, this thing of integrity, right? When nobody sees you, uh, those decisions you made. And as a good leader, it is not just the title, but the responsibility it comes with you putting yourself into it. There are a lot of us, we just want the names. We want those names to be on when we are coming, our arms are up. People are saluting us. It is not just this thing we're discussing today. It is not just from the social side, but even in the churches today, you see there are some bad leadership that there, Mr. Leety Gibson. There are people who want to be given position in the church. That people, I'm not trying to degrade our pastors, but that's a reality about it. When you hold a microphone, they finish talking, you say yes. But when it comes to the leadership aspect of that church, you see they have a very bad leadership. They have a very bad leadership. They don't know how to address issues. They don't know how to solve problems. Even though it's not all the problem that you will solve, but you as you that want to serve in a certain position, you must be able to solve problems. When problem arises, there are some people can even be the worst person when you call them to settle things. They even raise the fire on high. They carry the volume up. So today it is not just, a lot of times we want to say we want to just focus on government. Even our own homes today, we don't practice good leadership there. Many of us we want to name big brother, we want to name big sister, but what are you doing? It's just the name just on you. But what are you doing now to like somebody say, yeah, there's my big brother. What are those advices you are giving to your little sister or your little brother? What are those things that you are doing? In a community, what are those impact you are making in a community that people can say yes? But we just want a name, we just want to be seen. That's our problem. Most of us are like doing that's our problem we face today. We just want a name, want to be seen, want to be eating. They say somebody can say show eater. We want to be eating the show. But when it comes to doing it well, we don't want to do it. We realize ourselves, we feel like, yeah, all is well. All is well. And that's a very bad thing. If we continue on our path, like Mr. Lee was saying, we will not push our country or will not see the country where the country should be or where we want to take our country. It won't go there. You understand it? Because you as a leader, you must be a good example. The Queen said, be a good example. Always say to yourself, I think I want people to do this one. Let me start the first thing. But Mr. Lee, it's so frustrating to see. Let's say, for example, even in the community, when you say let's do some cleanup campaign, when some leader then come in there and make themselves very big, or they're standing, they want other people to do the work. And it should not be like that. That's the reality about it. It should not be like that. That is not a good example as a leader. You must always take the step. Be the first person, and other people will see and try to follow. Because mind you, that leadership you in there, other people looking at you, Queen. There are people who want to be leader, but they're watching who can be their mentor. Through the leadership that you carry on, people can say, yeah, I think this person can be a mentor to me when it comes to my leadership skills. And definitely, that's how you see a lot of people today get their mentors. But we face this problem in our society, and I hope that every one of us who are watching today will try to understand these things. So we'll take 1 minute break. Once we come back, we have one more question, and then we'll take our parting statement and call it a day. So let's take our break, and once we get back, we'll take our parting statement.
Africa, tell your story. This is the voice of the people. Wallace TV. The
Okay, let me say welcome back, welcome back to uh, the edition tonight. Like we're talking about society and nation building. We are talking about leadership begins with character. Wherever you are joining us from, we say thank analyst here tonight, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. And then Mr. Lee, this is one of the questions, that came to my mind while we were, we were having this discussion, and I really want us to look at it tonight. Uh, uh, there's a question, Mr. Lee. How can ordinary citizen hold leadership accountability? How do you think ordinary citizen can hold the thing of leadership, leadership accountability?
So come again with a question.
The question here is how can ordinary citizen hold leadership accountability?
Okay, so you know there are several ways. Like we were talking about, your proximity with a leader, and you knowing fully well that this person is not doing the right thing, and you don't want to hold this person accountable. You know, so because of your closeness, because of that connection, so you tend not to hold this person accountable for what he or she has done. Well, maybe if in the other case, if it is another person, you want to be very vocal, to that person why this person is not being accountable for his or her actions, or because this person is not maybe related to you or not fully close to you. This is one of the problems too in our society today, in our country, Liberia specifically. We don't hold our leaders accountable, especially when we realize that we have benefited from their dubious leaderships and their corruptions and all those stuff. Once we have benefited from that, meaning they should not be accountable for why. It's not because you benefited from it. In fact, it's a state resources. So it's not that money is not coming from that person's pocket. Like that it's not they are not entitled to that resources or that money. So they should be accountable for whatever they spend in public offices and and in our community funds and other stuff. They should be accountable for that. We should hold them accountable no matter who they are to us or our proximity to them. We should stand up to, because mind you, if those people they are leading all wrongly and we cannot stand to hold them accountable for, we too, we don't have that integrity, we don't have that character in, because we are not pushing them against the wall to work harder to do the right thing. I always say, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Some of our leaders especially in our country, they actually want to become a good leader, right? Sometimes they want to get a response from those they are leading, especially those in their circle. They want to see somebody who will stand, in their presence and tell them the right thing and tell them, say, oh, boss man, you are wrong. To be honest with you, you are actually wrong. How many of those people we see in our society today, if we hardly see them, once you get in your daily breath from that person, you see that person a demon go, oh, this person, everything he or she does is right. It's just good. It's just right. So you will come and change white to black. You want to change black to white. No, we have to graduate from that because it actually affecting our country. You should be able to stand out, be like that or brave king who went, prophet who went and stood before the king and told the king that, look, you are an evil person, you are this, you are that, your attitude, be that person, even though it might affect you maybe physically or or personally, but tomorrow you'll be known for that, for that your boldness. People will remember you tomorrow and say, oh no, this person stood up and told me the fact is, and they stood in my presence and they spit it out in my face. be that kind of a person. So we also need to be good citizens. We also need to, push our leaders, to do the right thing, and they should be accounted for whatever they do, whether it benefits us or not. So that's just it. To just conclude, one of my friend, he's a leader. So he did something, and he came with the end results. So for me, I never knew, even we never knew that, okay, this guy, he has gone and he stole, I can say steal or stole, right? He stole money from the organization and he brought it. We ate the money, we all ate the money, we enjoyed the money, but we didn't know that it was actually the organization funds. So when the time came out, people started asking for accountability and everything. So when I asked him, I said, he said, oh, brother, the money I brought, I said, no, man, you were wrong. So while people at first, I was mute when people were blasting at this guy, but after he told me that, I joined those people. I went in the chat room. We started calling for accountability. So he said, "But you ate some of the money." I said, "You know, when ate some of the money, unknowingly ate some of the money because you didn't tell me that it was the organization money. So we ate it after that it was your personal money. But in fact, now because I eat it too and you brought it, so meaning I should sit and say, oh, you did it right. No, brother, you were wrong. You shouldn't have done that. So we should be able to, tell people the truth so that they can be a better person for themselves. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. You brought something to my mind, like somebody, like I said earlier, somebody stole money and they have prosecuted the person already, carrying the person to jail. But yesterday, you see people are praying for the person. They say the person steal money. Only because even though you benefited from that money, yes, you have to benefit from the money. Yeah, that's how immediately you never knew that it was that kind of money that you benefited from. But now the person have been found guilty, right? And they have been taken to, and you see people are praying. What kind of, I don't know, like you said, Mr. Lee, we have to stand for what we stand for, no matter what. No matter how that person can be dearly, dearly to us, we have to say what we have to say to them when it comes to the reality. Yeah, there are some friends I have around me. One is Queen. No matter how you put it, she can just tell you it just like that. And that's the reality about it. Not to call and call to mind a kind of friendship issue, this and that. It's just good to be straight to people. But Mr. Lee, one thing runs on my mind sometimes, like, because the issue of poverty. So a lot of us we compromise. A lot of people don't want to speak out. Mr. Lee, there's a guy who I follow from Liberia. He's an activist. He usually go and eat kobo. I don't know what many of you have seen on the internet today, but I know y'all not like it. I know y'all not like it. He's like, I know y'all not like it. And he was like, the person that you think that man was pressing yesterday, today he come in disgrace them. I'm like, what kind of guy is this? He's correct. He's doing the rightful thing. When you do the right thing, he said, yeah, you do the right thing. You do the wrong thing, he said, no, that's wrong. I think that's what we should do. We shouldn't compromise, Mr. Leader. You are saying compromising things. It's very bad in our society today. And a lot of us are being affected of it because of little or nothing. Oh, my queen can buy my gas. My queen can do one or two things for me. So say, I yes, a queen do the 1 year, and which of course is wrong as a public official, but yesterday, let me defend her. We know sometimes the personal, relationship you have with people, it matters sometimes. But sometimes let they bear the consequences for what they did. Because when they bear it, at the end of the day, when they leave from there, you know what happens? A record has been set. That anyone who want to come after them tomorrow is going to be very careful with how they do things. Yeah, I know you want to say something, Mr. Lee, before we get to Queen.
Yeah, just 1 minute, Queen. Let me just give 1 minute of the time. You were talking about, because of poverty and what have you. Yeah, that could be one of the factors. But in my mind, I think if you have good integrity, you should not put your better first. If you put your better first, it's a likelihood that you are going to lose greater things. For example, let me just give you a little, biblical analysis. In the book of, I think, St. John, I think chapter 6, when after Jesus Christ fed them, they ate enough, they were filled. So he went across the lake. So they were searching for him. So when they phone him, they say, "Oh, master, where have you been? We have been searching for you." He said, "No, you are not really searching for me because of what? You are searching for me because you ate your stomach were full. They were filled, rather, and you want to eat again."
So,
So
I get to
yeah. So at that moment, they were only after they are better and they lost the greater things because he has so many things to offer to them, good teachings and everything. But because they placed a better before, and they put a better first, so they lost greater things. So in my mind, if you put your better first, that's listen to what music say, whoever feels you controls you. In our society now is rare. That's the reason why you should not put your better first. I can, sometimes in front of young ladies or, especially in Liberia, the moment they start maybe communicating with somebody, the first thing they start, I want you. If you start asking for those kind of petty stuff, then you know what you're doing. They haven't eaten yet. Yeah, I'm EU. I'm doing it. So you don't have to put your better, but even if you are hungry, have that control, that self-control, that self-discipline, and that person will get respect for it. Then you get the greater, or you get greater things from that person more than what you just put in your better first. Then once you put your better first, the person feel you, and then you got a feeling of do now. That's how you started it. So at the point I wanted to make.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I was talking about Jesus. I said, man, too, he's a get late. You remember in the Bible where when he was sitting with a disciple and he said to them, one of you will betray me. But it was better that person was not born. So I was like, but what did Jesus? It was better that you were not born. You saw the remember where you were. Then you come because you will bear all the consequences for you betraying me.
Yeah, no,
So,
too radical.
when you said that, yeah. Oh, sometimes it's good to be radical now. Yeah, it's good to be straight to the point. Queen. Yeah, Queen. So let's go to you. Let's hear from you, right? And here's a question, Queen. How can ordinary citizens hold leaders accountable? A lot of people today, they are afraid. Brother Lee have gave his point. Because Queen gave me small thing, I was just saying it just now. And when Queen do the wrong thing, let me stand by Queen. People can say, Brother Lee, anywhere you go, you remember that story, right? The woman who said to her mother-in-law, right? Your God will be my God. Anything you eat, I'll eat it. Right? Oh, but Queen have been doing it for me. Now Queen, we see the situation now. We want to pay to it, right? We want to make it in the world. Old people say, but the woman was doing it for me. Now she in the trouble. I can't stand with her. Somebody have done things that damage our entity, have damaged our society. This individual have been accountable for these things. And now you say you want to stand with them. Sometimes I can be thinking, what these people who are standing with the people, why they can't collect all of them? They carry all of them, they play the soul, carry them. Yeah, because every one of them enjoy the humility now. But when I say that, brother Lee will be affected because he wants to enjoy some humility like that with a friend. Yeah, Queen, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Maya, for the privilege. Method you were speaking on. Once you enter La Burns here in Port, they're hungry. I'm very, very optimistic that you have experiences. Not even one.
That's why
Queen,
I actually repeat it.
Queen, we have been around for a while, so we have so many experiences. We know what we are talking about.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maya, for the opportunity again. So, based on the question you asked, for me, I would say, like I said regular, if you claim that you love someone, you should be willing to tell them once they are wrong. Because I always do that. Once I were close into just like any we are not living with anyone here. But back then, when I was home, once I were close and then I went for everyone in my house to pray to close first. Why? Because once I leave the house, I go out there. Whenever the stress comes, I feel, if the house can correct me, like Queen, where you were is not called for, or this is not nice. If you can take that correction from there, when you go in the street, you don't have to feel embarrassed, and people don't have to correct you on your dress code or say, oh, this one. It's so shameful when you go in the street and someone telling you this one is happening to the dress code. So if we claim to love our leaders, we should be very bold with them. very respectful. God, the Bible says, and Jesus here he gave us the spirit of boldness, not fear. So in that boldness, you're also not speaking about rudeness. You can tell your leaders, things that's not right, but you have to be very, very professional in saying that. Yeah, so certain thing you can tell somebody, say, Myers, you stupid, excuse me. And another thing, say, Myers, stupid. I saying you stupid, the way you say it, the tone in which you use, is either escalate tension or transform lives. So, like, from some of all that from the marketing background, you see, one of the unique things about marketing is customer feedback. Why do you think always marketers, those that have platforms, those brands, they always, more especially India, anything you buy, anything they will bring to you get on Uber, they always want customer feedback. Why? To improve that service, to enhance, to train that employee. They want to know what is wrong, and to straighten air, what those things they have to work on, those weaknesses that they have to enhance. So if we say we love our leaders, we have to correct them. It's not bad in correcting your leaders, because if you cannot correct your leader, I don't think you love them. You just there for what you can benefit. But if you want to see your leaders, with that type of cool character, want to go out there, it also bring pride to you. So you have to correct your leaders. And for leaders, we also have to take in correction, because once you take in correction, you are a very good leader. You are a very good example of leadership. If you take in correction, if you do something and your employees, or a follower comes to you to say, "Oh, Myers or Mr. Casey, what you did, it was not right. There's a need you improve on this." See it as a coming from a love. It coming from a pure heart. It come, accepted with correction, accepted with love. So yeah, Maya, that's all I have to say. Thank you again.
Let me say thank you so much to our people. We say leadership begins with character. Tonight we have discussed a lot of things, and I hope that every one of us today were able to carry something home some way, somehow through our interaction. To all of our followers who say thank you tonight for joining us. Please do not forget to follow us on YouTube, Miles TV. We are live right now on YouTube and Facebook as well. Thank you so much. So at this point of time, we're going to take our parting statement. Let's start with you, Mr. Lee. What's your parting statement tonight? We have discussed a lot of things on leadership begins with character. What do you have for our people that, in the next 1 minute or 1 minute, 30 seconds that we can get to Queen and then we can cut it up here? Let's hear from you, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Myers. I will leave by saying this, you know, integrity in leaderships, if you want to have that good integrity, then you should also be a reflections of what you said. For example, you cannot say this, you cannot be saying this, maybe through your manifesto, and then your character, your behavior is, is far more, distant from what you have said on paper. One of our African leaders, the president of Uganda, Museveni, in the 80s or 90s, he wrote a book. In that book, he said a whole lot of stuff. He discovered the problem that Africa is faced with, and discussed recommendation and everything. And in some of those things that he said the reason why Africa is backward is because many of African leaders, they hijack power and they stay in power for a long time, and they don't want to resign, they don't want to leave power. That was the words of Museveni. But guess what, Miles? This same guy that was advising African leaders that said all of the beautiful things and gave good recommendations, he took state power and he refused to turn power over. This guy just identified that, you know, uh, African leaders hijacking power and staying in power for the rest of their life is one of the key factors that were keeping Africa backward. But then he took power, he had an opportunity to exercise to what he has said. But unfortunately, this guy is still in power. So why I say this is to remind us that when we are leader, we are called leader. What we say, or what we are saying by our words, it should reflect on our actions, on our character and everything. Then we can be called a good leader, and we can have that integrity. We can we can set an example that will live after us generation to come. So you should not be saying different things, and then you are doing different things. Even in our family, in our workplaces, organizations, you may be a father, mother, sisters, brother. Live up to what you say to your young siblings or your your family relatives. Don't be saying the good things, and at the end of the day you start saying different things. I was telling our mother, she was like encouraging her daughter to take drugs, not negative drugs, medicine. So her daughter was not well. So because the medicine was bitter, so the girl she couldn't take. In fact, medicine, her daughter like afraid of medicine, right? So she was like encouraging the girl and beating on the girl for the girl to forcibly take the medicine. So the girl took the medicine. This lady too, it was a time for her to take medicine. The same mother, she got sick to take the medicine. She not able to take the medicine. Started throwing the medicine away. She said she not able to take the medicine. She not like medicine basically. So I said, no, you seen it looks simple, but you are not setting a good example. You can beat on the girl for taking medicine. And you know fully well that she doesn't also like medicine like yourself. But you forcing her because you want her to get well. Then it's your turn now to take the medicine. You throwing the
But you,
medicine away. It's
but
not
you, why you couldn't beat her as well to take the medicine?
I tell you, so you see, so those things that be common things in our common things in our life, but it plays a major role. We should look up to that because that little girl, she going with bad message, she going with wrong message, with wrong precedent. So we have to be well organized. So thank you, Myers. It was a good thing to be here tonight, and I look forward to being here again until Friday, right? Friday or Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday,
Saturday, my
because
gosh.
for yeah, so I'm committed to appear here every day because this month August I'm free. September, classes resume. I'm going to be very busy, but for this August, I'm for Myers TV. So it was a great night tonight. Thank you, Myers.
Thank you so much, our own dear brother, Mr. Lee T. Gibson. Thank you so much for that. Let's hear from you, Queen. What you have to say to our people? Let's have a parting statement.
Thank you so much, Miles. And
Can
firstly, I
say,
will say
Queen can say that anything left that you did not, see on the show, anything you get up, Queen, say you want to say it again, Queen.
so that you approve, Miles. Yeah. So thanks so much to the Miles TV family for always, giving yourself, creating chances, to educate our people. And also to Mr. Lee Jason, thanks so much for always being here. Whenever you are called upon, you are eager to do that. Your responsibility, it shows your responsibility, you show to the Maya TV. It tells how much you love us. You want to impact our leaders, you want to impact Africa, and you. So, what I will leave my people with tonight is that, when we are speaking, it's driving to my mind was lately. You know, leaders should always be that want to find remedy for their people. Most people, once you come to them, you are leader where your follower comes to you, or Mr. Gason, I'm very, very hungry, since they have eaten. Yeah, so, me 2 days, I don't even eat there in my life. 2 days, I don't even eat there. It's bad. Things that leader go through, they didn't desire to explain it, you will forget about your story and start crying for that person. But you cannot say it in front of your followers. You cannot burden them. Some Allah will already come with that burden. And you try to, if I, some people go at that, they'll leave that person whole story and open another, cover page for that story. It's very bad. we as a leader we always have to, find remedy. Even if we think there's no possibility, we should look for ways. We should create ways for that, because it tells our followers whenever they have some leaders, people that work for them, employees, when they have problem, even if someone is sick, they are not brave enough, Marius, to come to that person and say this person because they know there will be no solution. After everything, after listening to that cry, you tell them to go back to work. There can be no solution to these things. So it's very, very bad. And lastly, we as a leader, if we want to be a leader, if you are striving to become a good leader, you should be very, fast listener and slow speaker. Always be fast listener, slow speaker. If you are called to do things, if you are in a meeting, if you are places, it give, I always see prayer Myers or, when everyone have talked and they say, don't hear from Mr. Casey. And whenever Mr. Casey speaks, trust me, everybody say, yeah, we bow, yeah, we concur. Why? Because he listens to all these suggestions, all these questions, all these things, and he just come up with one remedy. He come up with one findings. He come up with one solution, and everybody be like, yeah, we agree with Mr. Jason, we agree with Myers. So we as a leader, right? If you do that, people respect you by your words, and people are eager to hear from you. I don't care if, like, everyone has spoken, people just speaking, right? People are eager to hear from you. So yeah, that's it. It's a privilege to be here. I want to say we'll be here on Friday. Myers, you're saying Saturday. Why carry to Saturday?
Friday. Okay. I think I don't want to make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I always want to make a mistake. Okay. Thank you so much. So I want to say, as we conclude today's discussion, we want you to be reminded that leadership is not defined by the chair we sit in, no, or the chair we occupy, but by the character we display. Position may be given, but character may be developed. Influence may attach follower, but what keep it is the choice that we give to it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not just about the position, but what matters is the energy. What matters is the responsibility you put into it. And if we do that, we are going to be a good leader in society, in our community, in our church, wherever places we are serving today. And I want to say to us before we leave this platform, you don't have to be appointed for it before you say you are a leader. No. Even your house you are in, you also a leader there. Try to carry on that leadership role. They don't have to appoint you to say, oh, you don't want responsible for this before you say, oh yeah, okay, I don't want that. No. Try to do some things, right? Do not let Queen was saying, right? It's not every time you wait for people to be like, oh yeah, they man, you want to be seen, right? You always want to be seen. No, it's not about it. Do what you can do in your own weak way. And definitely tomorrow, what you do gonna live after you. Like I want to conclude by saying to us, whatever we do in leadership, what matters is legacy. No matter what. Today, tomorrow, when you shall have lead the flow, what people will look at is the legacy you left there. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will be back again for another edition of the Marriage TV. We love you all and see you. Thank you. Good night.
Who tells Africa's story? Who gives the youth a voice? Who stands for truth and unity? Africa, Africa rising. Through the lens we tell the truth, empowering groom and inspiring you. Voices once silent now are heard. Every story, every word. Bridging tomorrow with lessons of today, showing the world a brighter way. From every nation the message grows. Africa stronger, the whole world knows. Let the drums of freedom play, a brighter Africa on the way. Through justice, knowledge, unity, we build tomorrow for all to see. Rise Africa, rise Africa, rise. Your time has come to shine. Rise Africa, rise Africa, rise. Your time has come to shine. TV, the voice of the people, lighting the future across every steeple. With courage and truth we lead the way. Africa rising day by day. TV, let the nation nations see the power of truth and dignity. Together we stand, together we build. Africa's promise now fulfilled.